Hi, every guys.
So how you guys feeling? Seem loose.
Yes, ma'am. Pretty good.
Did you see the dance show out there during practice? Come on.
I missed
We
it.
caught it on video.
good.
We were having
was
fun.
great.
I'll see it.
It was great. It was great. Don't show my father because he thinks he can bust a move too, but all he's gonna do is bust a hip.
we're looking for him tomorrow. Then. I'm
Oh
gonna get that on there.
Oh boy.
All seriousness though, like how are you guys feeling heading into this, and how are you able to carry the looseness and the excitement and the genuine excitement for this regional and playoff softball?
We're feeling good. We're prepared. We've been working since August. We're prepared for this. This is what we've been working on since we stepped onto campus. Just this goal of postseason. Keep playing through the month of May and June.
And honestly, if you can't get up for regionals, then you're not alive. Your heart's not beating. Like it's very easy to get up out of bed tomorrow morning and go win one and then go celebrate with your team, whatever it is. But just we're very excited for this.
And the experience you guys garnered from last year to be able to bring into this season, and how did that just kind of just whet your appetite to really just take another swing at it this year?
I mean, we definitely got a taste last year, making it all the way to supers. I think this year, Coach Whitman has always been saying that we want to take it a step further. And just this year, we're hoping to go further than we did last year. We're grateful for every opportunity that comes our way, and we're just being here in the moment. It's a very exciting thing, and I just can't wait for tomorrow.
What'd you learn from that experience?
I learned that just being in the moment, like it's cool to like finally get there and be like, oh my gosh, like look around, like look at all the accolades on the opposing team's wall, like look what they've been able to accomplish, look what they've done. But at the same time, you have to take a step back and be like, we can do that too. Like we can fill up our wall, we can do X, Y, and Z, because why not?
Saying that, and of course you guys talked about this on the beginning of the year, it's a daunting task because if you get through this one, what might be waiting for you on the other side, how much does that play into it as well?
I mean, just having the possible opportunity to go to Oklahoma, like if you would have told me at the age of 12 that we started having a dream about playing. I remember I was like maybe in middle school and I was like, oh my gosh, like they're at OKC, oh my gosh. But like if you would have told me at that age, like I would have had an opportunity to play there, not even just to watch it, to play. That little kid would have actually done a backflip or something. Like, how can you not be excited? How can you not be excited for a dream to become true?
Coach said y'all worked on your offensive approach and saw you guys out there killing it, hitting line drives and home runs and everything. What do you guys got any comments about how you taking your approach?
Just being aware of your swing, having just your personal spatial awareness and knowing what you're doing with this pitch and what adjustment can you make when you're not seeing the ball well, or what adjustment can you make when the count's 0-2 or bases loaded with runners on. Just being able to know what you're capable of with your swing and how to minimize movement to maximize efficiency.
Definitely, and being able to make the adjustments pitch to pitch.
As far as going into the series with focus, but also lose Millie Thompson, can you think of a moment where maybe your head was down, or she just kind of lifted you up, did something random that kind of got you?
I would say a few days ago, just we were having a talk in the locker room, just making sure everyone was on the same page of what our goals were, what our aspirations were, and how we're gonna get there. And I was just kind of sitting back in my locker, listening, on my head, and Millie looked at me and she goes, I get the most fired up when you're fired up. And she was like, I want to see her this weekend. I want to see her. I want to see what she can do this weekend. And that just fired me up just a little bit. Her telling me that what fires her up the most is when I'm acting a fool out in the outfield. But that was probably one of my favorite moments when Millie kind of picked me up there.
So I guess the last time you guys played UNCG, she got a line drive straight to her, and then she flexed afterwards.
That's Millie. That doesn't even surprise me. It's Millie.
I mean, do you have a favorite thing, whether it's she puts the cone on her head or the sail hat, or?
I would probably say my favorite thing about Millie that she does would probably be when she might not get a pitch that she wanted, and she'll catch the ball and she'll go. just like kind of time, but like she gets fired up and like she'll like pound her chest or whatever and go back to what it is, and you know JoJo's there to like help her out with that next pitch or whatever, but like she fires herself up, and to me that's very entertaining to watch, and just being able to see that your teammate is able to pick herself back up and knows that she wants more.
Definitely. One of my favorites is after she gets a strikeout or a ground ball, the pounding the glove she does, and then just like getting up and hyped up. It's incredible to see, and it's been awesome to see all season.
Obviously, you guys are trying to get the hitting turned around, but just having the pitching staff you have, I mean, how much does that take some pressure off your shoulders?
That definitely takes some pressure off our offensive shoulders, but just knowing that like Val and Millie and Reagan and Brooke McCubbin, like knowing that even when they don't have their best stuff and they're still successful, like that's still impressive to me. That's okay, like even though they don't have their 100% stuff, I can give them my 100% of this or this to pick them up. Just always having their backs, they have ours. Just they're incredible staff to watch.
JoJo, were there any differences in catching Millie versus catching Valerie?
I mean, for sure, the speed for one thing. They both have their drop ball, and then Millie's got her wicked changeup, and the differences in the attitude and the way they present themselves. Millie's gonna be way more animated with her, everything, how she moves, her facial expressions, everything, and then Val's gonna be this yeah, she's just gonna have this like wall, and even when she like strikes somebody out or anything like that, it's just like that's me. Like that's who I am, and she's gonna have that throughout the whole game.
I was gonna say, when she comes in the dugout, y'all need to like stay away from her during the game while she's focused.
I mean, you know, like
'Cause,
during certain points, you're like, all right, she's in her zone right now. Like
She's got her blinders on.
yeah. But then there's other times where you're like, hit her on the shoulder, or, the hip or whatever else, and say, I got your back right here. And there's just different moments in the game where you know whether or not you gotta stay clear, or you can hype her up a little bit.
Don't interrupt the killer mentality.
Yeah.
I guess just going back to last year again, Millie. She had the water dumped on her. I guess on the regional, it was the dance part. I guess
The foot water.
Yeah, but kind of like excited to see like if you can do it again, like kind of what Millie's gonna do this time.
She actually conquered a fear with that. She's terrified of water.
She doesn't like water, and so like when she did that, like, and she doesn't like water, and like I was her roommate there for a little bit in freshman year, and I looked at like our other roommate that was her roommate during freshman year, and I was like, dude, she doesn't like water. Like, what is she doing? And she goes, she's excited. I was like, but who's gonna tell her she doesn't like water? But no, this year I'm gonna ask her if she's been like warming up her back for like a backflip or something, or doing the splits. I don't know. I don't even know what to expect from Millie this year. She's evolving every day.
Yeah.
What sort of, I don't know, good reminder is it? You know, you mentioned that, Millie told you that she's pumped when you're pumped. Just that idea that what you guys have been able to learn about each other that makes you successful in this moment, and remembering that stuff that makes you each so special. What's it like, and what are you learning about yourselves and learning about each other as a team heading into this?
Each of our personalities make up the whole of the Clemson softball program. We all have our individual personalities, and that's what makes it so special, that we get to play with someone who is so stoic and has that killer personality, but then can have somebody else who is gonna create a dance party in the dugout, row some boats in the dugout. It makes it fun. It makes everybody individual, and that's what's so fun about the game of softball, that you have this huge group of girls that come together and they're working towards this common goal. But everybody's individual. We all have there's not a set way somebody's supposed to look or appear. You can have anybody's shapes, sizes, different personalities. It makes the game great.
With that said, with Valerie, like you mentioned earlier, her emotions kind of stay the same. How does that help though when times are tough, and to make sure you watch her and you never see her panic? Does that help you guys to know, okay, well, she's not panicking, so maybe we don't panic?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen Valerie Cagle hit a panic button in her life. But no, she's just a very stoic individual, and she knows what she can do, and she doesn't need someone else reminding her every day of X, Y, and Z. As a team, we have her back 24/7. She knows that. we'll do it. Like, I don't have to say anything. Like, if we're in the dugout and I'm getting ready to go bat and like I'm putting my gloves on, like I'll look at her and nod, and she'll look at me and nod, and like that'll be that. Like, we can just tell by like just like her presence that she's good, that she's gonna give it her all 100% of the time, no questions asked, and we're gonna do the same for her.
Coach mentioned you guys were maybe gripping the proverbial stick too tight through April, so to speak. Sorry, I covered a lot of hockey in there. What have you guys learned from that, and how have you maybe hit a reset button as you guys have turned the calendar here?
Coach has always told me since my freshman year that sometimes I get in linebacker mode, and just like sometimes like with my RPMs, like I'm just always like 100% go, and sometimes he has to remind me that like you don't have to be 100% of the time. You can play your best 75%, and that's gonna go a long ways for you individually. And just like knowing that I don't have to be like gripping the stick so hard and like trying to press. He goes, you don't have to do that. He's like, you can just relax, play your game, be loose, and he goes, you're gonna go a long way. He goes, in January, February, March, like that was you, like that was your bread and butter. He goes, let's get back to that, let's reset. Postseason, everyone's 0-0. Nobody cares what you did previously. If they're gonna scout me on what I did like the last few months, okay, cool, I've made an adjustment, and I know that I can play loose, and I have my team behind me, and I have an amazing coaching staff that's gonna coach me through it. So that's something I've learned this season.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely just less is more. That's one of Coach Whitman's favorite sayings. Less is more throughout this offensive stage. And then, I mean, take a step back. Maybe walk through a swing a couple times, feel yourself out. Maybe take a couple of hacks left-handed if you're right-handed. Take some right-handed if you're left-handed. Play the game backwards. Have fun with it. Make a game out of it to get your head out of the gutter for a second, and then refocus back in, and then make your adjustments and focus on one thing at a time.
Any other questions for players?
Thank